Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is Cars Unlimited, and we have with us to talk about Cars Unlimited, JDon Bowen, an individual who has been involved with selling cars for a number of years. As a matter of fact, Mr. JDon Bowen, let me welcome you to the show, JDon, and let us have you to give us some information about your background, your education, and your experiences as dealing with cars, automobiles, and then we'll get into the topic, and that is Cars Unlimited. But we're certainly glad to have you here with us to give us this kind of information today. Let's start off by talking about that.
Number one, Dr. Haney, I'd just like to say this right here. I am very proud and over delicious and everything to be on your show today. Understand? I am elephant proud to be on your show today. Understand? I just want to say that.
Well,
but Nashville, Tennessee is my home. I was born and raised here. I was educated in this town. I know a Nashvilleian. I've been a lot of different places, but Nashville is my home. My family came from here. I was raised in a home right with my mother, my twin brother, my sister, and my other brother, Dr. Bowen now. And we were all raised together right here in Nashville. We were raised in the community, right in the North Nashville community. Our way. We went to Fort Greene, we went to Washington, and we also went to Pearl High School. At Pearl High School, of course, I was a leader there also. I was the captain of the football team. I was one of the leaders in the band at Washington Junior High School, and I also played in the band with Chick Chavis at Fort Greene School. But if you notice, I'm calling teachers' names. All right, one of the things nowadays that a lot of kids are not able to do is to call teachers' names. And the reason why they're not able to do that is because the love is gone in the school system. The love is gone. There's no more love like we had. All right, and all this love that was given to me and all this thing right here was what transpired and made me the great salesman that I am today. All right, and the great car salesman I developed and the caring. In order to do this right here, you have to love people. And I developed a love of people early in life because we went out early in life at 6, 7 years old and started selling papers. Well, I developed a habit for commission because the first time I sold papers, Mr. Bell down at the paper stand, he told me, he said, they called me James then. I went through some transitions before I got to JDon. They called me James, all right? And he said, James, you take 10 papers. At that time, a newspaper cost 10 cents a paper. He said, you take 10 papers, and what I'll do, you bring me back 60 cents, and I'll give you 40 cents. All right? No, you bring me back 6 cents, and I'll give you 4 cents. All right? So I took the 10 papers, right? And that particular day I came back, right? And he gave me 40 cents. And I gave him 60 cents. I said, if I do this every day, you know what I mean, I can get bigger and bigger. This is what you call commission. Understand? So like for instance, after a while, I had built my route up where I was walking up Jefferson Street, right? Through the new Del Morocco and on through the clubs. That's back when Jefferson Street had businesses on both sides of the street. And I was selling papers in the businesses. I was going up to Meharry. I sell papers throughout Meharry to all the patients in the hospital. Paper didn't cost but 10 cents then. All right, then when we end up, right, I'd end up on 18th and Jefferson. I was selling papers. Okay, and I remember that bound of paper we sold, we just holler sport extra paper, but this all developed me into the type salesman that I've become. You understand? You know, this thing of nurturing and people nurturing me. And when I was small, I would listen to my elders. That's one of the biggest faults about young men nowadays. They won't stop and listen to their elders. I would stop on my paper route and I would talk to people like Mr. Odie. I would talk to Mr. Nichols. I would talk to Dr. Ford. I would talk, because in the neighborhood then, you had a transfixation of all different type people, you understand? Where they were from middle class, lower class, we would all live together because we were what? In the hood. But all, like I said then, this nurturing developed me into the type person I am. And also, the education part of it. Going to Fort Greene, you had to make good grades. Wasn't no F's and D's, wasn't no fine and dandies coming home. Understand? See, some of the kids would come home because their parents didn't have no education. They would say, Mama, he said, son, what kind of grades did you make? Oh, I made F's and I made D's. I made fines and dandies.
Fine and dandies. F and D.
And Daddy said, you made all fines and dandies
dandies.
and give him 50 cents or something like that right there. 'Cause he thought he would reward him, you know what I mean? You understand? And the kid would go on to Piper or wherever he had to go. And there was some other things that we stayed away from because of the church. We all were nurtured in the church.
We're going to have to take our first commercial break here,
Oh, okay.
JDon, and then we'll come back and pick up. And we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.